The Galactic Council met in secret. 12 alien races. Old, powerful, proud. They ruled the laws of space. They decided peace. And long ago, they had banned humans from their part of the galaxy. Forever. Now, for the first time in 300 years, a human had returned. But not with an army. Not with threats. Just one scout. And already, a whole planet had been silenced by fear. Inside the high chamber, the air was tense. Holoscreens showed images from Virel 7. The black ship, the scout's arrival, the failed attack, the disappearing soldiers. The leaders argued. He must be destroyed. No, he must be captured. This is a test. He's alone. If we strike now, we end this before it spreads. But one voice stood out. Elder Karen, the oldest member of the council, sat in silence. When he finally spoke, everyone listened. "We made a mistake," he said, "long ago." The room went quiet. "We pushed humans away because we feared what they could become. Now we are seeing what they already are." "Then what do we do?" one leader asked. Elder Karen looked into the holomap showing Earth's position, still far from Virel 7. "If one scout can walk through our defenses, what do you think the full army can do?" Still, the others didn't listen. They voted quickly. Send a kill squad, a secret elite unit from the Council's special forces, trained to hunt threats across the stars. Silent, deadly, loyal. Their mission was simple. Find the human scout. Kill him. Send a message back to Earth. That night on Virel 7, the scout sat alone on a rooftop near the outer edge of the capital. He didn't eat. He didn't sleep. He just watched the sky, as if waiting for something. Then he looked at his wrist. A small light blinked red. He stood. The kill squad had arrived. 12 ships, cloaked, silent, fast. They landed in the far desert and moved in darkness. Each soldier was armed with weapons made to destroy anything, even starbeasts. They split into teams, surrounded the area. One team moved onto the rooftops. Another stayed on the ground. One hovered in flyers above. Their plan was simple. Attack all at once from all angles. No escape. No chance. The signal came. They fired. Explosions rocked the city block. The rooftop shattered. Fire rained down. But as the dust settled, they saw something they didn't expect. The scout was gone. Suddenly, the sky changed. A deep humming sound came from above. The cloaked flyers failed. They dropped from the air, slamming into buildings. Ground units tried to move, but their suits locked up. Then, one by one, each soldier disappeared. Not killed. Removed. A voice echoed in their comms. "You were warned. You failed the test." Back in the Galactic Council, all live feeds from the squad went black. Then one final image appeared on every council screen. A new map. It showed 12 glowing red circles, one on each council homeworld. And a message. "We sent one. Next time, we don't send just one." The council was no longer arguing. Now, they were afraid. Truly afraid. Because now they understood. This scout wasn't a mistake. He was a signal. And time was running out. The scout stood in the middle of the grand hall. All the leaders of Virel 7 were there. Politicians, military generals, and scientists sat in fear, staring at the armored figure. No one spoke. No one even breathed loudly. His presence was like cold air pressing against their skin. General Ruin stood up slowly. "You are human?" he asked. No reply. "I am General Ruin. You are on Virel 7 without permission. State your purpose." Still, the scout said nothing. Instead, he lifted his hand and threw a small black cube onto the table. The cube floated above the surface. Then it lit up with holograms, showing something terrifying. A full 3D map of Virel 7's entire defense grid. Every drone, every satellite, every weak spot. It was all there, exposed. Then the map changed. In seconds, it showed missiles flying in, striking every system at once. Cannons melted. Ships exploded. Cities turned to fire. The whole simulation lasted only 30 seconds. When it ended, the cube floated back down and turned off. The room was silent. That's impossible, one leader whispered. That would take a full fleet, maybe more. The scout finally spoke. His voice was calm and robotic. No fleet, just me. Panic rose in the room. General Ruin stepped forward. Why are you here? The scout answered slowly. To deliver a message. What message? Observe. Report. Decide. Then he turned and began to leave. Suddenly, blasters fired. Without warning, a hidden squad of elite alien guards had entered the chamber. They had strict orders. Take the scout down. Alive if possible. Dead if necessary. The shots hit the scout from all directions. Smoke filled the air. Sparks flew. And then, the scout stepped forward, through the smoke, completely untouched. His armor was glowing faintly, not a scratch on it. He didn't fight back. He didn't need to. He raised one hand, and the weapons turned to dust in the soldiers' hands. Then the lights shut off. A loud hum filled the air, followed by silence. When the emergency lights came on, the soldiers were gone, vanished. Nothing remained except a burned human symbol on the floor. Obizes or VER only. Later that day, every major leader on the planet received a new message. It was short. You have 7 days. Prepare your world. Your time of peace is over. The Galactic Council received the same message, but their version had one more line at the end. This is not war. This is the beginning of judgment. Across the galaxy, fear began to spread. Old stories of human power returned. Whispers of the last great war, the one where planets were cracked in half and stars were sealed away, came back into people's minds. But no one had seen the human army yet. Only one man had arrived. One scout. And he had shown the galaxy that even alone, a human was still the most dangerous force ever known. The next morning, the black ship was still there. Silent. Cold. No one had come out. No lights inside. No movement. But then, something changed. A small door opened on the side of the ship. No sound. No smoke. Just a quiet hiss of air. And then, a figure stepped out. He was tall. Taller than any alien on Virel 7. Dressed in smooth black armor that looked alive. No markings, no weapons, no flag. His face was hidden behind a dark helmet. Even his footsteps made no sound. He didn't look like a warrior. He looked like something built for war. Hundreds of alien soldiers were already waiting. They had surrounded the field with tanks, flyers, and energy weapons. General Ruin had ordered them not to shoot, only to watch. But his finger was ready to give the command. As the scout walked forward, the alien soldiers pointed their guns. But he did not stop. He walked slowly, calmly, like he wasn't afraid at all. One alien soldier shouted, "Halt!" The scout didn't respond. A second warning came, louder. Still nothing. No fear. No words. Just silence. Finally, the alien soldiers opened fire. Blasts of energy flew at the scout. The ground exploded, dust filled the air. And when it cleared, he was gone. No body. No blood. Just empty ground. The soldiers looked around, confused. Then they heard it. A sharp metallic sound behind them. They turned fast and froze. The scout was standing right behind their line. Unharmed. Still calm. One of the alien tanks turned toward him. But before it could fire, it shut down. Lights out. Power gone. The other tanks followed, dead in seconds. Weapons locked. Soldiers panicked. Some ran. Others fell to their knees, unsure what to do. Then, for the first time, the scout moved again. He raised his hand, slowly, and pressed 2 fingers to the side of his helmet. A soft voice came out, cold, flat, mechanical. This was a warning. Then he walked past them. No one dared to stop him. He entered the outer district of the capital. People stared from windows. Some hid. Others recorded with small devices. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. The human walked through the streets like he had been there before, like he knew every path. His armor shimmered in the sunlight. Children peeked from behind doors. One brave boy stepped into the street, holding out a toy. The scout stopped. He turned his helmet slightly toward the child, then kept walking. The boy's toy sparked, then melted in his hand, not from heat, but from some strange field around the scout. The boy dropped it and ran. Back in the command tower, General Ruin watched everything on the screens. His officers shouted for orders. Some said to launch airstrikes. Others said to call for help from the Galactic Council. But Ruin stayed quiet. He had seen enough. "This isn't an attack," he whispered. "It's a test." One officer looked at him. "A test, sir?" "Yes," Ruin said slowly. "He's not destroying us. He's showing us that he can, anytime he wants." Near the heart of the city, the scout stopped in front of the main government building. Massive walls, heavy gates, guards in full armor. The scout raised one hand, and every gate opened. No hacking, no codes, just power. He stepped inside. Now the leaders of Virel 7 would finally meet him. But they didn't know this was just the beginning. Because this wasn't a human invasion. It wasn't even the army. It was just one scout. And he had come with a message. Far from the center of the galaxy, on a quiet alien colony called Virel 7, everything was peaceful. The sky was purple, the air was clean, and the people lived without fear. They had no enemies, no wars, and no reason to worry. That changed on one normal day when their deep space sensors picked up something strange, a signal. It came fast, too fast, and it didn't match any known technology. The signal moved like lightning through space, heading straight toward them. At first, the colony's science officers thought it was a glitch, maybe a reflection or a lost probe drifting by. But the signal kept coming. Then the long-range satellites went dark, one by one, without any warning. They didn't explode, they didn't vanish. They just stopped. That had never happened before. Fear began to grow. General Ruin, the commander of Virel 7's defense forces, stood in the control tower watching the monitors. He had seen many things in his long career. Pirates, space storms, even border skirmishes with rival species. But this was different. There was no communication, no message, no sound. Just a black dot moving closer. It was not part of any known fleet. No ID code, no escort, no weapons showing. Just a single, fast-moving object. Could it be a stealth drone? One of the techs asked. No, General Ruin said quietly, staring at the screen. It's not hiding. It's just not afraid. The object slowed down as it reached the outer edge of their space. It stopped for exactly 3 seconds. Then it moved again, straight toward the planet. That's when the power stations on the moon base shut down. Without warning. No alarms. No sign of damage. Everything just went offline. Now the council was called. Leaders, scientists, and generals gathered in a high tower above the city. No one had answers. Only fear. The object was now entering their atmosphere. It was small, about the size of a dropship, but shaped like nothing they had seen before. It was black, sharp-edged and silent. It made no sound as it moved. It did not glow, did not hum, did not shake the sky. It just appeared, floating above the capital. Thousands of citizens looked up, pointing, confused. Was it a visitor, a probe, a lost ship? No one knew. But something about it felt wrong. It didn't hover like other ships. It didn't request permission to land. It just stood in the air, like it was watching. Then the city's defense grid flickered. The lasers, shields, and automated cannons all shut down. No reason. No hacking detected. No explosions. Just silence. The city, once protected by layers of energy and steel, was now naked. Panic started to spread. Families ran indoors. Shops closed. The military scrambled jets, but nothing could fly. The launch systems failed. Somehow, this one small object had disabled everything without lifting a finger. Inside the council tower, a scientist stood up and spoke. Her name was Trella. She was an expert in deep space tech. Her voice shook. "I've seen this pattern before," she said. "A long time ago. In the old war files, it matches something from the human archives." Everyone turned to her. "Humans?" General Ruin asked. "That's impossible. Humans were banned from this part of the galaxy 300 years ago." "I know," she said, "but this signal, it matches a human scout signature. Old, yes, but still real." "But there's only one ship," another leader said. "No fleet, no invasion." Trella looked around the room. "You don't understand. If this is a human scout, it means the humans are watching again. And if they've sent a scout, it means they're planning something bigger." Silence filled the room. No one wanted to believe it. The last time humans fought in this galaxy, entire star systems burned. No one had seen them since. It was believed they went into hiding, or maybe died off. But now, one was here, alone. At that moment, the object slowly descended. It landed just outside the Capitol gates, near a quiet field. It didn't crash. It didn't shake the ground. It simply touched down with a soft hum. The field turned cold around it. The grass died instantly. The air grew heavy. General Ruin sent a drone to scan it. The drone melted midair before it got close. Nothing was left but ash. Now, the people of Virel 7 knew fear. True fear, the kind that comes when something unknown walks right into your world and doesn't care about your rules. They didn't know what the scout wanted. It had not spoken. It had not attacked. But somehow it had already won. The city was quiet that night. Lights dimmed. Streets emptied. The black ship sat still in the field, glowing faintly in the dark. Watching. Waiting. And far away, in the void between stars, other signals woke up. Hidden sensors lit green. Deep, forgotten systems came online. Because somewhere out there, someone had sent the first message in 300 years. The humans are back. The final day came. 0. The countdown reached 0:00. Across the galaxy, everyone held their breath. No ships appeared. No lasers fired. No planets exploded. Just silence. The council leaders stared at their screens, confused, hopeful. Did they stop? Was it just a threat? A few even smiled. "They're bluffers after all," someone laughed. It was just one scout. Suddenly, the lights died. Every system, on every council world, shut off. Power gone. Ships froze in orbit. Weapons failed. Entire planets went dark. Then, one by one, giant images appeared in the skies of those worlds. Not holograms. Not projections. Real. Each planet saw a different human ship floating above them. Huge, silent, surrounded by strange black machines. Then the voice came. "We were never gone. We were waiting. You called us monsters. You made your choice. Now, face the consequences." On Virel 7, the human scout walked calmly to the highest tower. He placed a small black box down. It opened on its own. A glowing light pulsed from within. Around him, alien soldiers aimed their weapons, but none fired. They were too scared. The scout turned and spoke to them. Not with anger. Not with hate. just truth. We sent one of us so you could see, so you could think, so you could choose peace. He paused. You chose fear instead. Then the skies changed. Human fleets, hidden in folded space, began to appear, one by one. Hundreds, thousands. They did not fire. They only hovered, waiting, watching, letting the galaxy feel their presence. It was like standing before a sleeping god, and realizing it had just opened its eyes. Inside the council's grand chamber, Elder Karen stood alone now. Everyone else had followed. He looked up at the main screen, showing Earth's fleet, tears in his eyes. I warned them, he whispered. I told them, humans don't bluff. But then, something unexpected happened. The human commander sent one final message. We do not destroy worlds. We are not conquerors. We are your reflection. You judged us for being dangerous. But now you see, we only became this because of you. There will be no war. This is not revenge. This is the last warning. Next time, we won't send a scout. And just like that, the fleets vanished. No fire, no death, only fear, only silence. The galaxy was never the same again. The council lost its power. No one dared speak against Earth again. And somewhere, across deep space, the scout returned to his hidden home, alone, mission complete. And as he walked through the silent halls of the human command base, one final message echoed across the stars. We were exiled. Now we return not as victims, but as gods in the dark. The countdown continued. Every planet under the Council's rule had the same timer. Black circles, red numbers, 7 days, now 5, now 4. And still, the humans had not attacked. No bombs, no invasions, just silence. That silence was worse than any weapon. The leaders of Virel 7 begged the Council for protection. Send your fleets, they shouted. Fortify the skies. Evacuate the cities. But the Council had a bigger problem. The signals. Strange signals were showing up on every major world. Unknown code. Human frequency. But unreadable. We don't understand what they're doing, the Council tech said. Elder Karen did. He stood over the galaxy map and pointed at the black circles. They are not waiting, he said. They are watching. Watching for what? Someone asked. Karen answered, for us, to make a mistake. Then someone did. In a panic, one of the outer colonies launched a missile toward the human scout's last known location. It never hit. The missile disappeared mid-flight. Gone. Erased. And 1 second later, the entire launch facility went dark. Every screen, every weapon, every life support system, dead. Then came a new message. Attempted aggression logged. Response deployed. Do it again, and we remove your planet. The message was not loud. It didn't need to be. Back on Earth, the human high command watched quietly. No cheering, no anger, just calm focus. A young officer turned to the Supreme Commander. Sir, what now? The commander stared at the holographic map of the galaxy. They forced us out. They thought we were weak. But they forgot. We never stopped preparing. He pointed at the 12 Council worlds. Now, we remind them. Meanwhile, the scout, still alone on Virel 7, stood in the great alien library. He wasn't there to destroy. He was reading, studying, learning. The aliens had never seen anything like it. He moved without fear, took what he needed, left what he didn't. At one point, a group of scientists tried to approach him. They asked, "Why are you doing this?" He paused, then replied, "You wanted us gone. You forced us into the dark. And in the dark, we changed." He turned to leave, but before he did, he dropped something behind. A piece of Earth tech. The scientists scanned it. It was a copy of every council law ever written, already translated into human code. One scientist whispered, shocked, "They've been watching us this whole time." And now the humans were ready to act. Not just one scout, not just one ship, but the entire shadow force of Earth. Hidden, quiet, waiting. And now, waking up. The countdown ticked down to 3 days. On every council world, people stopped working. Cities went quiet. Trade halted. Because everyone knew the truth now. The humans weren't bluffing. They were just letting the galaxy feel fear before they moved. And once they moved, nothing would ever be the same again. The alien leaders still didn't believe it. Even after the scout walked through their weapons, even after the kill squad vanished without a trace, even after the red circles appeared on their homeworlds, they still thought, maybe, this was just a bluff. No race would warn before attacking, one council member said. Humans are emotional creatures, said another. They're trying to scare us. That's all. Only Elder Karen disagreed. He had studied old human records. He knew something the others didn't. He stood slowly, voice shaking. Humans don't bluff. Back on Virel 7, the human scout walked alone through the ruins of an old alien fortress, one the Council had once used during the human expulsion war centuries ago. He touched a broken wall. Old burns, old blood, old betrayal. He whispered just one word. Soon. Then he activated his ship's signal beacon. It wasn't a message. It was a location ping. He wanted the humans to know exactly where he was. In orbit above Virel 7, something appeared. No sound, no lights. Just a sudden shift in space, like something massive had dropped out of nowhere. A ship, but not like anything the aliens had seen before. It didn't move like normal vessels. It flowed through gravity, silent and dark. Its surface was blacker than space itself. Not metal, not glass. Something else. The Council watched from their monitoring stations, fear growing. It's not even showing up on scanners, one operator shouted. Then a simple message came from the human ship. Scout confirmed. Orders. Observe ends. Phase 2 begins. On the ground, the scout looked up at the sky and nodded. Back in the capital, alien citizens began evacuating. Panic spread. Rumors flew like wildfire. The humans are coming. One scout nearly broke us. What happens when more arrive? But the humans didn't attack. Not yet. Instead, they broadcast something to every screen, every device, every speaker across the planet. A video. It showed Earth. Cities larger than anything on Virel 7. Ships 10 times the size of the Council's fleet. Factories, training grounds, and something worse. Humans walking side by side with machines that looked alive. And then came the voice of a human commander. Not the scout. Someone else. Someone even scarier. 300 years ago, you exiled us. You called us monsters. You feared us, and you were right to fear. Now your time is up. We are not here for war. We are here for justice. And we never bluff. In the council chamber, alarms blared. The red circles on the galaxy map turned black. Countdowns started ticking under each one. 7 days. That was all the time left. Unless they could stop it. But how do you stop something you can't even understand? Something that sent just one man and broke your whole system. Now the aliens realized. This wasn't a message. It was judgment. And the humans were just getting started.